Hey everyone, so this is my review of Gotham, Season 4, Episode 4, called The Demon's Head. And essentially what this episode is about is that Bruce puts the lives of the Gotham City's historian and his grandson on the line when Bruce goes to them to sort of ask them to examine this knife that he's obtained. And this was a really interesting and a really kind of weird episode that I did like because it sort of brought everyone into the fold of what is all going on. But still, it was just really weird with how it was all carried out. And with that, I did really enjoy that they did have these moments of Gordon coming into the mix of what Bruce and Alfred have been up to, and sort of them having to work together to figure out what to do, and also having Ra's al Ghul finally be introduced to Gordon and to the GCPD. So that will be very interesting with how all that plays out once Ra's al Ghul finally comes back to do whatever his plans are. And then the weird, two people that were hired by Ra's al Ghul to try and track down this knife were just odd because they were never really explained. I'm guessing that the two of them were the way that they were because of the fact that they've been either introduced to the Lazarus Pit or introduced to some form of dark magic that just drove them nuts. But still, they were such a weird addition to this show because one of them acts like a complete and total dog, but it's clearly a person. And then the other one is just like this complete and total brute that doesn't seem to be fazed by any sort of pain. So having them two running around trying to track down Bruce and trying to track down this knife was just really weird with how it was all done, especially around those two people. And then the grandson of the historian was very interesting, and I really like what they did with his character, where they sort of introduce all the plots around what his actions will be and what he'll do at the very beginning. But they made it in such casual conversation that unless you were really listening, you wouldn't have picked up on it. Where they made one sort of comment which ended up leading to where this grandson was hiding out. And then they made some sort of other side comment within that conversation which led to where the grandson hid the knife. And just all of that was just really interesting with how everything played out, how everything was done. And then with that, it was really weird how those two people who I brought up that were very weird were supposed to be tracking the knife. But if the knife was hidden in this location, it was really weird how they just seemed to be tracking the grandson, where they're supposed to have some sort of secret connection to the knife. So that was weird that they didn't just directly go towards the knife, they went towards the grandson. And then I really loved the moment where Ra's al Ghul showed up in the police station and was just sort of asking Gordon a lot of questions about the knife and sort of formally introducing himself without actually introducing himself. And he was just putting himself out there as this historian for the Himalayas and all this different stuff. That he had this reason of trying to respect the culture that he wanted the knife back and not really saying what he's actually up to. And just that was so interesting to see how all that played out. And then having it be ruined by Alfred showing up and Alfred recognizing him and just going absolutely insane. Just that was just so fun to see how all those actions played into each other. And then all the moments with Sophia were also really interesting, with her sort of being introduced to the city of Gotham more and sort of learning a bit more about her whole backstory and the reason why she's here. And I feel like what they did with her character in this episode, with the whole beginning chunk between her and Penguin, I feel like they did the same thing that I brought up earlier, where they sort of revealed a lot of what they're going to do between a conversation between her and Penguin, where she talked about how Penguin is very much sort of a brute compared to her father, where her father went about doing all these killings and doing all these gang dealings and stuff in a whole lot more formal and fancy ways, where he would gain the person's trust and then do all these different things to really make them feel special, and then Falcone would kill him, and Penguin just doesn't do that same thing. And I feel like that's what Sophia's doing too, that she's doing all this stuff to gain both Penguin and gain both Gordon's trust. And then when they feel like she's completely on their side and completely will do whatever they think that they want her to do, that she will turn on them and kill them or do something to sort of seek their revenge on them. And if that is true, I cannot wait to see what's all going to happen there, because she's such an interesting and really, really entertaining character that just I can't wait to see what she's going to do when she finally turns into a bit more like her father. And then with that, I also really enjoyed her whole backstory and her whole sort of reason why she's there, which is that she knows what her father did and she knows all this stuff, and because of that she was sort of taken away from Gotham and sort of hidden away and sort of not able to be where she wanted to be. And that's the reason that she's in Gotham, because through all the different stuff that happened in her life, Gotham is still her home, and she wants her home back to the way it was. And that, like I said, I just cannot wait to see what they're going to do with her character. And I really, really hope that they don't just kill her off for some reason. Then the moments between Penguin and Nigma were also interesting, but I'm not a huge fan of them. Yes, I am happy that they didn't just go and freeze Nigma again, that they do have him out there, but I don't think it's going to be that great of a storyline to have Nigma sort of figure out and remember who he is and sort of gain that strength back of becoming the Riddler. I just don't think that that's going to work out as great of a storyline as they have it out there to be. I am, however, very, very happy with how they did the whole ending sort of scene between Penguin and Nigma, where Penguin sort of separated Nigma from the Riddler and said that you are Nigma, but you're not him. And the fact that he chose not to use the name the Riddler and just always kept referring to him as him, that was just a very, very entertaining and very, very great in my mind, and I just enjoyed it so, so much. And I am, however, a little disappointed that, again, they didn't show anything of Scarecrow, and based on the descriptions I've read for the next couple of episodes, it doesn't seem like they will do anything with Scarecrow. It seems like it's going to be very, very focused on Bruce and very focused on Ra's al Ghul. And I'm very disappointed with that, because all the trailers and all the stuff leading up to it seemed like this whole first half was going to be very dedicated to the Scarecrow, and maybe have the second half dedicated to Ra's al Ghul. But it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen here. It seems like they're doing all the Ra's al Ghul stuff now and having maybe a bit of Scarecrow tossed in there. But I don't think he's going to be in there much at all, which really makes me sad, because I was so, so hoping for a moment where they would have sort of Scarecrow cause, much like the gas that revealed everyone's darker sides, have a gas sort of shown off that caused everyone to go into massive, massive fear. Which, yes, if they do make a connection and sort of a collaboration between Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul, that would be awesome and really cool, but I don't think they're going to do that. So I really hope that they do have, when Scarecrow does eventually come back, that they give him a good enough storyline and a good enough moment to dedicate having all this time that he was gone and away from the public eye be worth it. Or at least have some sort of big moment that shows his grand reveal of his hidden hideout, classic sort of place that was in like the sewers and stuff like that. Or do something that makes him worth being gone all this time. I just want some more Scarecrow in this, because like I said, they gave such a big amount of dedication to him in the trailer. To have him not be there, I'm really, really sad. But yeah, overall this was still a really, really interesting episode. I am very excited to see where all these storylines that they set up will go. But yeah, that's my review of Gotham. Season 4, Episode 4, called The Demon's Head. So yeah, bye!